or so. We will bring that to you. It's 5 minutes past 2. Richard Linklater's latest movie is, well, it's all about Orson Welles. It's called Me and Orson Welles. The me in the title is played by Zac Efron. The Orson Welles is played by Christian Mckay, and they both join us. Good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How's it going?
It's going very well, Zac. So you're the me.
Yes, yeah, I'm me. Yeah.
And I'm the Orson Welles.
And you see, we can just tell. You even sound like Orson Welles already, Christian.
Well, no, you see, I'm English, playing an American, but...
I realise that. that was the clue. Zac, tell us about the me character, then, in the title.
Richard Samuels. He's a sort of a theater enthusiast, and 17 years old, and he gets lucky and gets his big Broadway debut in a Orson Welles play.
Are you 17 again, Zac?
Yeah, right.
Oh.
17 for the third time.
Nicely done, Christian. Nicely done.
Oh, a little, you know.
Touche. And then, yeah, his world gets rocked kind of in a crazy week with Orson.
Okay, in what way? In what way do you have a crazy week with Orson?
They're preparing for their adaptation of Julius Caesar, so it's the scramble to kind of put on a show. It's the final week of rehearsals, and I actually fall in love with this girl, Sonia, who's played by Claire Danes, and get caught in kind of a love triangle between Claire Danes' character Sonia and Orson Welles. So it's pretty cool.
So it's a film about a play.
Yes, yeah.
And I wonder if this is the first time that the Isle of Man has pretended to be New York, because this is the Gaiety Theatre, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, we turned the Gaiety Theatre. It's very much like the old Comedy Theatre in New York on West 41st Street, where the Mercury was. And so we made the Isle of Man the Isle of Manhattan.
So we have, I think this is worth telling again, Christian, how you got to play Orson Welles, because it's a great story how Richard Linklater basically was saying, obviously, in Me and Orson Welles, I need to get Orson Welles right. Where did he find you?
Yes, well, I was doing some theatre in New York. I was with Clwyd Theatr Cymru, the great Welsh company, Terry Hands, which is, you know, in all but name, the National Theatre of Wales. And, you know, Richard turned up, and like a complete idiot, I stood there giving him the names of famous Hollywood actors that could play Orson Welles, thinking, you know, not even in my wildest imagination could he cast a, you know, rather pompous, unknown stage Englishman as this great American icon. But I'm thrilled he did. And
Orson Welles, he was the guy who was advertised Demek double century in the end, didn't he? He sort of lived his life backwards, didn't he, Christian, really?
Yes, well, he used to say, I started at the top and I've been working my way down ever since. But this is him at the beginning. You know, the film's a Valentine for the future. That's Richard's phrase. It's a perfect description of the film. And he's starting out. You know, he's putting his neck on the line, creating this theatre in the cauldron of New York theatre, his own company, the Mercury Theatre, with John Houseman. And this production of Julius Caesar, set in 1937, it is a warning of approaching dictatorship. And, you know, it foretells the Holocaust. I mean, this 1937, this is before Kristallnacht even. So, you know, even then he was groundbreaking. He revolutionized, as you know, theatre through this production, which is still considered the most important theatre production of Shakespeare in North America. And then that allowed him to move, you know, onto the radio with his own company, the Mercury Theatre on the Air, which was revolutionizing radio. And then, of course, that took him to Hollywood. You know, there's a lovely thing, when he did The War of the Worlds, when I was in New York, you know, 85-year-old men and women would tell me that they remembered their parents putting up holes around the window frames and door frames to stop the Martian rays. It was really true. And on radio, they thought, oh, let's Wales, War of the Worlds, and they did it on radio, and they were put in jail because it caused such a riot. And of course, Orson used to say, well, they were put in jail, I was... Where, of course, he made the greatest film ever made. All of this before he was 25 years of age. It's an incredible character to play.
I should say, by the way, the FA of Ireland press conference has just started. We will bring it to you in its entirety in just a few moments' time when we finish speaking to Zac and Christian. Zac,
yeah, that was such a cheat. I saw that this morning on the news. It was extraordinary. I turned on the news this morning rather bleary-eyed.
Yes.
First thing I saw, I thought, I recognized that fat guy, and it was me. So that was totally surreal. And then, more importantly, I saw Thierry Henry You know, I'm a Manchester United supporter. He'd been doing that thing for Arsenal for years. A bit controversial there, but I'll stick up for Manchester United. But they must replay that game, don't you think?
Well, absolutely no chance at all. And Zach, I mean, we're going to hear from the... You saw that handball as well, is that right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw it this morning. I saw it on the news.
It's a nifty piece of handball. He moved his hand so quickly,
yeah,
and the referee never
was.
spotted it.
You know,
you play basketball like that, don't you, Zach?
Yeah. That's how that's almost as good as my moves.
Hey, Zach, I have to ask you that lots of people are saying that Christian not only sounds like, not only looks like, feels like your man Orson Welles here, but there is a resemblance there. As you're looking at him now, does he instantly look like Orson Welles to you?
Absolutely. Well, of course, that was a very important, part of the decision-making process, I think, for Christian, is he actually does have an incredible resemblance to the guy, especially when we were through with messing with him in hair and makeup and wardrobe. He took on this whole other kind of persona. He looks pretty good in this suit. He's wearing a nice suit right now.
Yes, unfortunately, me and Orson Welles, me, Christian and Orson Welles, we're both fat. That's the resemblance, you know?
No. Not that fat.
Zach, I wonder whether you are mightily pleased, not only because you're getting very good notices for this film, but to be in a essentially a period drama, and it's quite a low-key film as well, is very good, isn't it? I mean, it's really taking you on to another level, and the reviews that you're getting are terrific.
Dude, it's been unbelievable. It's completely beyond. This was an opportunity that I didn't know I would get. Coming off the back of all these musicals and things, I was really hungry for an opportunity
I've heard
like
about
this.
some of those. I've heard about those.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's just say this was like a breath of fresh air, and I'm thrilled to be out here promoting it, and I'm glad we're getting positive reviews. And couldn't be happier.
Had you been to the Isle of Man before?
That was my first time, and we're headed back very soon.
Well, I think that's
this week.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things, that the premiere of this movie, as I understand it, not only was the film shot in the Gaiety Theatre in the Isle of Man, but you're going to do the premiere there as well. Yeah,
which rightfully so. I think we spent night and day in that theater for 4 weeks, and it's gonna. I can't wait to get back there. I feel like we really became this company to a degree. We never left that stage. We were on there constantly. So it'll be good to get back and play it for everybody, that lives there, because they were so great to us.
So there you are, the premiere of this movie, which is filmed in the Gaiety Theatre, and everyone is going to be in the Gaiety Theatre looking at the theatre, which is just...
Exactly, and giving us a standing ovation in the Gaiety Theatre. Hopefully.
On film.
on film anyway.
And also, gents, you get to play with one of my favourite actors, Eddie Marsan, who's terrific. What does he do in this film?
One of our favourite actors too.
Yeah.
He's incredible, Eddie. He plays John Houseman, who founded the Mercury Theatre with Orson.
And had you worked with him before, Christian?
No, I hadn't. But I'd admired him for years. All those fantastic performances, Pierpoint and Vera Drake and Happy Go Lucky. Just a few of the hundreds of. He's the great character actor, and as a character actor myself, I aspire to. Working like Eddie, he changes with every role, and he's fantastic as Houseman.
And Zach, what do we see you in next after me and Orson Welles has been around, and you've had standing ovations everywhere you play? What do we see you in next, sir?
I just finished a film about 4 weeks ago called The Death and Life of Charlie St. Cloud, and that's more of a drama, and it's about two brothers with a strong bond, and then after my little brother dies, I'm sort of there's a love story, and it's kind of about learning to live my life again without my little brother. That sounded incredibly weird. I haven't really got the log line down for it yet. I'm sorry. You're one of the first guys to ask about it.
And what next for you, Christian?
I've got a lovely little part in a Bernard Rose film called Mr. Nice, with Reese fans, about Howard Marks.
Oh yes, absolutely. The reformed inverted commas drug dealer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Which was great fun and totally different to Orson. Lovely character to play.
Christian Mckay, Zac Efron, very good of you to speak to us. Thanks very much indeed. Me and Orson Welles is the movie which stars Zac Efron as me and Christian Mckay as Orson Welles. So we've been talking about that handball. We've been talking, even Christian and Zac were talking about that handball from the Ireland-France match yesterday, the FA Ireland